Hey guys, how's it going? This is my follow-up video to the diva drawing that I did yesterday. And yep, you heard right. This is my second day of actually filming. And this is going to be a record for me because you're never going to see another video this quickly within succession of each other ever again. I'm actually pretty amazed myself, and I'm proud of myself. It's pretty awesome. So yesterday, if you saw my previous video, if you haven't, go check it out. It's relatively long. You can fast forward it to the end. I was essentially inking the character Diva from Overwatch, and just talking about things like I normally do. I tend to ramble on and on and on, but I was hoping that I would kind of make this a series type of thing, and the second part would be me using Copic markers to color it up. So what I wanted to do first, before that, was just kind of nail down the background, because it's super boring background. Nobody wants to see me coloring a background for hours and hours, because quite frankly I hate backgrounds, and I hate drawing mech, and I wanted to draw that robot dude that she has behind him. So two things, I was really dreading that a lot, and yeah, backgrounds suck balls, like gumballs kids. Yeah, gotta keep it clean. Gumballs sucks, gumballs. So what I did was, that's what I've done. Not bad, right? All things considered. Like, for me, I hate doing backgrounds. I have a bunch of drawings here where I just kind of scribble. It's like incoherent scribbling in the background. Nobody knows what the hell that is. It's just a big black blob. But I actually put some effort in this one, and I'm kind of proud of myself. And these things are huge. Like, I don't know if you can get a sense, but very difficult to color with Copic markers on a surface this big. But I found a way. I found a way how to do it, and maybe I'll talk through it if I can remember or not. But today I'm kind of nervous because I am going to be coloring the actual character. There's a lot that can go wrong, and with markers it's completely irreversible. So I mess up, it's gonzo forever. But I just kind of want to show you. I have another camera going right now. I'm kind of cheating a bit because I actually scanned this image in and I colored it digitally, the face anyway, because I'm too cowardly to kind of just do it off by memory. So here's what I have here. My reference as usual, right there. Camera be pointing down, and this is what I did here, which is pretty awesome. I mean, it's pretty cool seeing the character that big on the screen, and this is only at 22% because I scanned it at a ridiculous 600 DPI. Pretty crazy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom into the face, like my mouse. Zoom into the face. I'm gonna use this as a reference because I don't want to goof it up. You can afford to mess up the body somewhat, but the face, I don't want to mess that up. I mentioned it before in my other videos. Sorry guys. I mentioned it before in my other videos. I put a lot of focus on the face because I just want to make it pretty, right? So, enough talking. Let's see if I can get this thing done before my camera turns off. Okay, so that's what we have now. This thing's really not supporting my camera well today. I don't know what's going on. I hope it just doesn't fall off. That would be a disaster. This is an expensive camera. Okay. Man, I'm nervous. I don't want to mess this up. Let's just zoom right in. So if I do mess up, you guys can catch it in its all its glory, 1080p, 60 frames per second. I'm gonna start off very light because I'm chicken, and then we'll see how it goes. Oh god, here we go. Okay, C2. No, we don't want to do that. C1. Let's go with the lightest color. And for if there are any professional Copic marker users out there that want to give me some advice on how to do this thing, please do. I'm not opposed to that. Okay, I have my reference in front of me. I'm going to follow it as close as I can. So if you noticed, the footage just got really fast. For this section, I've decided to go with the speed paint route, as a lot of you guys have suggested, because I was complaining about how I was going through some anxiety of drawing it real time, and suggested that this might be easier to just kind of record the whole darn thing and then do the voiceover afterwards. And we'll see how it goes. For sure, it's not as intimidating. I can see, but somebody's trying to text me again. It's probably work. Damn you, work. Yeah, as you can see here, I'm kind of going through the details in the face, and I spend a lot of time doing this. I put a lot of focus into the face, and like I said before, it's very important because it's the first thing that you kind of gravitate to, right? When you look at an image, it's the first thing that I look at anyway, is the face. See, you know, if it's a nicely rendered face, we appreciate that, and if it's off, we know it's off. Like, it just looks weird. For this one here, I was using the reference that I had on my computer that I was mentioning before, and I messed up a few parts, and it kind of set the tone for the entire illustration. I wasn't happy with it right off the beginning. A couple things didn't work out the way I wanted to work, and throughout the entire video, I just spent most of it, or the better half of it, just whining about how I wasn't liking it. So, you know, there are benefits to doing the speed paint as well. When I was viewing it back, I was really annoying. I just wouldn't shut up about how much I hated this, the way it was going. But in the end, it actually ended up working better than I thought. Still kind of unhappy with it. I wish I can kind of go back and redo bits of the face and stuff like that, but I should just really let it go. Yeah, I'm just detailing the hair here, and I actually liked it initially when it was lighter, but the character has dark hair, so there was no getting out of this. It's inevitable. I had to go in with a darker tone for that, which is good. I mean, it helps pop out a lot of the rest of the clothing, like the shoulder and the arms and stuff like that. It helps frame it really well, and it's going to help frame the face really well as well, because the face is, well, typically lighter, so something darker in the background that's going to help punch it out, is going to make it more dynamic looking, because it's all about varying shapes. Like, you know, when you talk about lines having contrast, you talk about it you know, from thin to thick and stuff like that. It's good to have a variety. If you have lines that are too similar in width, then it just becomes boring. I think I talked about it before in one of my videos. Same thing with color. You need lights and darks. You need some extreme darks and some extreme, like, almost white in there. So as you can see here, the hair is really framing the figure really nicely. I wish I drew this fast. That'd be awesome. I'd get so much done. I wouldn't have to worry about time at all. So this video is actually sped up about 300 times. I can't remember the number, but the overall coloring itself, or shading, didn't take me long. It usually never does. I focus most of the time on the face, and then after that everything goes by pretty smoothly, because I don't focus too much on the clothing. So you can afford to mess that up a bit, and nobody's gonna really notice the difference. That's from my experience anyway. But yeah, the overall marker portion maybe took a little longer than half an hour. That's what I'm thinking, which isn't bad at all. So sorry about my voice. I'm actually sick. So, and I have water beside me. I should be drinking more. So I don't know if I talked about her robot behind her, but I don't think it looks like the actual robot at all. It's too big and clunky. I was hoping that I'd be less detailed and be more abstract with it. I just wanted the arm cannon and a bit of the leg to kind of to show that it is her robot. But outside of that, I think I went in with too much detail with the overall shape in the background and stuff like that. It just ended up not looking like it at all. But I don't care. I'm not too concerned. Could be a prototype. This could be like her very first robot or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, like I don't really care. And here I'm drawing like the shadow under the in the belly. So I didn't do the line work for that because I knew that I was gonna address those lines in the coloring phase, and it worked out better. Sometimes you might want to do that. Just plan ahead and maybe not put lines where you think lines would be. Like for the rib cage, a lot of you guys would go in and draw the rib cage in there. If you're gonna go in and marker this up or even color it up digitally, I would just save that part. I think you get better results by doing that, letting color and values kind of address those shapes. And it's one of my weaknesses, actually. I wish I would do that more. There's a lot of artists that do that really well, where they'll their line work is actually very basic, and then when they bring it into color, it looks amazing. Like it just gives it a nice softer look, more painterly look. So it's something that I'm learning right now. I come from I don't know, I think I mentioned it before, I come from a penciling background. I do comic book art, so that's my bread and butter. So that's all I see are lines. I'm a big fan of lines. I tend to just draw everything, but I'm trying to learn now to not draw everything. It's okay to kind of leave things for later on, because a lot of lines are created. The lines aren't actually there. They're created by lights, right? When you think about it, like a lot of lines that you see when you observe, those aren't, like the shadow is not an actual, like it's not determined by a line. It's determined by the values. So it's good to keep that in mind. I don't know if I'm making sense or not, but things like the shadow underneath the breast and the shadow underneath the rib cage, those lines weren't there until I put the markers in there, and that created the line through the value. It just punches it out. You have an extreme like white, and then you have a gray tone on top of it. I'm just probably just talking out of my ass right now, but I make sense to myself. And I hope I'm making sense to you guys, because that's important as well. I want you guys to kind of understand my thought process when I'm doing this, and that I'm not just doing it, you know, it's not a fluke or whatever like that. There's some thought behind it. I'm just detailing like the legs. Like I was saying before, nobody likes drawing legs, but you have to do it. You got to go in there and do it. And for me, it's okay to even to stop there, like, and that's fine. I think that looks fine, just right there. Kind of fades away. It looks like it's, you know, not an afterthought, but it's just kind of hazed over. I don't know. But of course I go ahead and I color more, because I just don't know how to leave things. Yeah, I use these white jelly markers. I don't know if they're really markers or not, but Copic markers are transparent, right? So you can't go in there, you can't buy white Copic markers and go over the colors and the shades that you've already drawn, because it's see-through. So what you need to do is you need to go out and buy these jelly markers. They're opaque, so as you see here, I'm kind of just going around the figure. I really didn't need to do this. I found out afterwards it was fine without it. But other places that I would use this is like the tip of the nose and above the lip and stuff like that, just to kind of go in there and bring out the whites. And I'll use it in the hair and the shine, you know, shiny bits in the gun and stuff like that as well. So I think this video is coming to an end, so I'm just gonna stop it right there and then set up for my closing. Alright, so there you have it, guys. That's my speed painting or speed coloring of Diva from Overwatch. Hope you guys liked it. I'm trying out a few different things. My first few videos have been real time, but a lot of you guys have suggested that I go the speed paint route to kind of alleviate the pressure that I've been feeling of having to perform. That sounds right, wrong-ish. Yeah, anxieties all over the place. But yeah, another reason why I decided to do that as the speed paint was because I was whining a lot through it. I know that a lot of you guys have said you should try to be more positive in your videos, you know, because you project negativity if you're negative, and I believe in that as well. But I just can't help it. I'm very hard on myself. I'm my biggest critic, so that's why I do it. I don't do it intentional or to try to get any kind of sympathy or anything like that. I'm just very self-deprecate that way. Is that the right word? Self-deprecation. You get it? I'm Asian. Self-deprecation. Never mind. I'm also unfunny. But I think it turned out okay-ish. I don't know. But I'm hoping you guys like it. So if you do, give it a thumbs up. And follow me, if you will. That'd be awesomer. That is a word, by the way. Kind of like Bigly in my logo. It's gonna go right there. Alright, bye.